Greetings, this is Miss Jackson. I'm going to go over the page 32 lesson 2 extra practice that was sent home. This week we've been working on multiplication as comparison, and we're using multiplication to compare the size of different objects. A great way to do this is by drawing a math model, and there's a very specific model that works nicely for this, and it's a bar model. So let's look at problem 1. A blue paper strip is 2 centimeters long. A red paper strip is 3 times as long as the blue paper strip. How long is the red paper strip? The first thing the kids need to be able to answer before we can start to solve this is what things are being compared. And in this case, it's a blue paper strip and a red paper strip. We're going to make labels for everything that's compared. Some problems you will have 2 or 3 or 4 things compared, and each thing would need its own label and eventually its own bar model. But this one just has 2 things, so we just have 2 labels. Blue, B for blue, R for red. A blue paper strip is 2 centimeters long. That's the first bit of information we have, and I'm going to represent that with a bar that has a value of 2. A red paper strip is 3 times as long as the blue paper strip. When we have a sentence like this that tells us something like 3 times as long or twice as long or 5 times as long, we can turn that into a math equation. And when we do that, it helps us to solve the problem. So my equation here would be a red paper strip is 3 times as long as the blue. Well, I know what the blue is. The blue is 2 centimeters. Therefore, the red is 3 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. So when it asks how long is the red paper strip is 6 centimeters long. Now we can look at this and we could ask a lot of questions. We could ask things like, how much longer is the red than the blue? We would say that the red is 4 centimeters longer. How much shorter is the blue than the red? The blue is 4 centimeters shorter. Another question that gets asked often is, how long are both strips in total? Well, you would have to combine those. That would be 8 centimeters. So once you've drawn the model, it's very important to pay attention to what the actual question is, because drawing the model is not enough. That's a tool to help us solve the problem. We need to actually read the question carefully to know what is being asked and then make sure that our answer fits that question. Okay, problem 2. A yellow paper strip is 45 inches long. It is 5 times as long as a blue paper strip. How long is the blue paper strip? Again, step 1 is to identify what are we comparing. In this case, it's a yellow paper strip and a blue paper strip. What do we know? We know that the yellow paper strip is 45 inches long. We also know that it is 5 times as long as the blue. We can make an equation from that. Yellow is 5 times as long as the blue. What can we fill in here that we know on this equation? Well, we know the value of yellow, so we could say 45 is 5 times whatever the blue one is. We don't know what that is, so we'll use an unknown box there. Well, we can start to work this out because we can figure out how many 5s it takes to get to 45. We could count by 5s, and if we do that, we would end up at 9 5s. 5 times 9 is 45. Therefore, the blue paper strip must be 9 inches long. 5 times 9 inches is 45 inches. Okay, that is it for this first page of extra practice. This is kind of a trickier concept. Some kids will start to get to a point where they can see the multiplication problem to find the answer without a model. I like for most kids to try to draw a model though, because it helps kind of it allows you to visualize the problem a little bit better and to try to start seeing what the answers are. Some of these problems will come with a lot of information in them. I tell the kids, slow down, draw one part of the problem at a time. If you can do that, you can typically find a pathway to solve it. But if you just look at all that information at once and you try to put it all together at once, it's a little bit overwhelming, and that is where mistakes are made. So that's going to be it for this page 32. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I will be happy to help you however I can.